Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. And today we have Mr. Monik Abhishek with us. He has recently cleared RBI Grade B examination, and today we will know about his strategies as well as all the sources that he preferred, which can be beneficial for the candidates preparing for the RBI examination. Hello sir, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, ma'am. Thanks for having me here.
So we are also obliged that you accept the request and you are here to share your views on how to have a better approach for examination. Yeah. So before starting for about phase one, phase two, and then interview, what is your educational background, uh,
Yes.
person?
I completed my BTech from Pondicherry Engineering College in Electronics and Communication. And I got placed in TCS during my campus selections. Uh, but I didn't take the offer and I started preparing for UPSC. I went to Delhi, started preparing for UPSC. I gave 5 attempts so far in UPSC. I cleared prelims all the time except once. I went to interview once, but I couldn't clear the exam in the final
Right.
selection.
Make it into the final merit
Yeah.
list. Yeah.
In 2019, after I started preparing for RBI, I gave my first attempt, but it was very short time. There was no much time. So I went till interview. I missed by two marks. And then in 2021, this is my second attempt with RBI. Again, with a very on a time constraint basis, I had to finish the preparation. And then
Right.
I got this ninth rank in the RBI final selection.
Right. For phase one, as sectional cutoff is there, although you're from engineering background, but still the touch with numerical ability or per se quant and reasoning, you must have lost while preparing for UPSC,
Yes.
as it does not ask much. So what was your approach for that? What do you suggest to the aspirants who are good at quant, but they have somehow lost the touch with it?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Because see, the reasoning and quant part in RBA was a lot tougher than UPSC, CSAT. So if you're already good at it, but somehow lost touch because of the gap, what I would suggest is start with mock test. Do the mock test first, and then see the level of difficulty that is being asked in the RBA. I followed Ollie Board's mock test. I understood the difficulty level, and then I started practicing the questions, the kind of the models, the question
Right.
models, and I was able to get a grip of it, both for reasoning and quant. So I think that is how we should. Don't passively start practicing quant. First, know the level of difficulty that's being asked in the RBI, and then follow it. Do a lot of mock tests in every phase, phase one or phase two.
Right. While doing mock test, the candidate would understand that what topics he has to make more efforts to and
Yes.
what topics he has good grab at, right?
In fact, mock test makes you more focused because it is very objective. You know how much
Right.
score you're getting, and the improvement is visible on the screen.
Right.
So everybody should write more mock tests.
Right. In fact, in most of the websites, even the rank is also shown among all the
Yes,
people who has
yeah.
given examination.
That kind of fuels you.
Right.
That shows you whether you're improving or not. So
Right.
that is important.
Yes, so mock test plays a very vital role for all the preparation. So this was for the quant and reasoning. So what about GA? So as you were preparing for UPSC, so you must have you must have knowledge regarding that. But still, first of all, what kind of questions are being asked in RBI? Because you have experience of both, of
Yes.
UPSC also, of RBI also. So what
Yes.
kind of questions, as well as if you go for current affairs also, of how many months aspirant he should prepare?
Yeah. Now, if you look into 2019 paper of RBI, it was very factual. So, but UPSC papers tend to be very analytical,
Right.
conceptual, whereas RBI tends to be a little factual comparatively.
Right.
But if you look into the 2021 paper of RBI, it's again on the UPSC lines. The pattern has completely changed. He even
Right.
started asking, the questions were difficult. It's more conceptual. That is why I think the cutoff has come down by 50 marks, which was huge.
Right.
So
Right.
conceptual understanding is the need for conceptual understanding has improved, which means that you cannot separate your phase one preparation from phase two preparation.
Right.
So you need to do integrative study for phase one and phase two. And what did you ask?
Or
Yeah,
the
how many
current
months
affairs?
of current
Yeah.
affairs?
Yeah.
just the last 6 months of current affairs is enough. No need to do the whole year,
Right.
just the 6 months. Take any source, don't run after too many sources. Focus on taking one good source. There are at least 3, 4 good sources for every topic in the market. So take
Right.
one source,
Right.
revise it a lot of times, highlight them using on your PDF and extract those highlights and
Right.
focus on them, revise them more. So
Right.
just the 6 months of current affairs plus mock test plus integrated study of phase one and phase two. I think this is the strategy for GA, general awareness.
Right. So, if we have to analyze that what type of question were they, more of the current questions, means of what category, if I would have to say, could you please tell us what kind of questions were there in GA?
Current means it's current affairs. No?
Yeah.
Current affairs with a lot of conceptual, that needs a lot of conceptual understanding. In
Right.
2020, I think that is going to be the pattern for all the coming years because they change the entire pattern for phase one.
This
phase
time
two.
only.
I think this is going to happen for the rest of the years.
Right.
So focus on concepts.
Yeah.
And then current affairs.
Yeah. So from now on, the aspirant, you should focus much on the conceptual clarity,
Along
because
with current affairs.
right, because this time the syllabus has been changed, so it is expected that they will follow the pattern for
Yes.
some time
At
now.
least, yeah.
Yeah. And so for English,
English, I didn't do any specific study. I'm good at it. Only through mock studies, I was able to discern the difficulty level, the practice,
Right.
everything, all the practice from mock tests. So
Right.
do at least 10 mock tests from any coaching center. All of them are good. Choose one. That is enough.
Yeah.
For this, I don't have an answer. For most of the things, my strategy would be more appropriate for someone who has some good understanding, basic understanding of everything, plus working in time constraint. So
Right.
my I don't think my strategy would be useful for anybody who is starting from zero level, who is
Right.
a fresher.
Right.
So this is a disclaimer I want to give in the beginning itself.
Right. But when you attempt mock test, you would have an idea
Yes.
that what is according to your level, the difficulty level is.
Yes.
Yeah. So that would give you an overview that how much you have to prepare and which certain topics you need more attention.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So this was for phase one, and now so talking about phase two. What were the sources that you preferred for per se ESI and FM?
For ESI, I had a basic background because of my UPSC.
Right.
So what I did was I completely relied on EduTap material. I'm not saying this because you're taking my interview. EduTap material was good, the coverage and quality wise.
Right.
For ESI, I had a background, but still I had to tune it to the RBI examinations needs.
Right.
So I followed EduTap. And for those things which I felt was not well covered, for example, the social part of the ESI, there are regionalism, communalism, gender. For these things, I refer to Vision IAS materials.
Yeah.
I would tell aspirants, if you find something lacking in your material, just have a look into Vision IAS material.
Yeah.
I mean, the quality wise, it's all good. Apart from EduTap, you look on other coaching institutions material for RBIs. Look into Vision IAS material as well.
Yeah.
And for FMM, as I said, I didn't have time. I don't have background in finance or in management. I completely relied on EduTap material. It was good. And there's no doubt about it. I read them. I was able to read them fast and revise them once or twice, and that was sufficient.
Right. So, sir, many aspirants, they have some knowledge about the topic or whatever subject, but they really don't know how to frame an answer.
Yes.
When we talk about phase two, that is solely the descriptive writing. So aspirant, he faced difficulty, like how to structure an answer, and that too within a limited time. So you have to think also, you have to type also, and you have to frame a good answer. So what do you suggest that how can we construct a good answer?
If you want to construct a good answer, reading is not enough. If you passively keep reading from textbooks or notes, it's not enough. What I would suggest you to get that knack of answer writing, what you do is read question and answers. Let us say, for example, of almost all the coaching institutes are conducting phase two descriptive test series.
Right.
For example, EduTap has a few tests. You
Yeah.
look into the question and see how the answer was framed.
Right.
So even if you're not, even if you're not in a good mood to write an answer, at least read the questions. Read a
Yeah.
question and see how the answer is framed instead of reading textbooks again and again. That is
Right.
very
Yeah.
passive.
Right.
Take a lot of questions. See how the answer is framed.
Right.
For example, in the introduction, you give a context to the question.
Hmm.
Why has it come into the news? Why is this question asked now? You give a context and write a body and give a forward-looking conclusion. So what I would suggest is, given the, I think as the pattern, as now the coaching centers are also adjusting to this new pattern, I think from now on, there are going to be a lot of test series for a descriptive aspect of phase two
Right.
also. So
Right.
tell people to get questions, to look into a lot of model answers, the question
Right.
and answer. See the question, what are its demands, look into the answer. You'll
Right.
obviously understand how the answer is framed, how is the introduction being framed, and how the body of the answer is meeting the demands of the question. So do
Right.
this active learning, active answer framing practice, and obviously practice writing, practice answer writing, daily 2 or 3 questions.
Right. Because what most aspirants they do, they keep on reading the
Yeah,
chapters of
no,
that
no, yeah,
particular.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah, but there is a way of writing descriptive
yes,
sections.
yes,
You should have an intro, you should have a good body, and then conclusion, which is not available on the chapters that we keep on
yes,
studying.
yes, yes,
Right. So we need to have an idea of that. And again, as you said, that do a lot of mock tests
yes,
because they would tell you your progress.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So sir, English for again, like in phase one, you did not follow anything. So I guess in
Even
phase two also.
at first also I didn't follow anything. I looked into videos of Edit app on pressing writing and what is the other one? The passage comprehension.
Yeah.
That thing. So I
Right.
didn't do any specific study for that. And these are,
Right.
I felt these are enough. And of course, when you're writing the answers to that comprehension passage, do write in your own words. If you just copy paste what is given in the passage, they're not going to reward you with good marks. In fact, in my first attempt, uh, I didn't, that was the first time I wrote, I didn't have much time to prepare. So I left the entire pressing. I
Hmm.
just wrote the passage and there was another thing, the essay. I wrote only the essay and the comprehension. I wrote it in my own words. I gave good quality content, and it's still for the kind of correction that happened in 2019, I scored well. So I
Right.
tell you, focus on quality in each phase because time is not a constraint in descriptive answers. Um, you are being given 90 minutes just to write 4 questions.
Right.
If you look into UPSC, it is too hard to give any quality content in UPSC. But
Right.
RBA, luckily, you have good amount of time. Of course, the typing takes some time, but still 90 minutes just for 4 questions is a good amount of time. So focus on content, quality. I think that is the reason why I was rewarded good marks in phase two. I got third highest score in phase two. I scored well in all the descriptive parts. So focus on quality, do answer writing, and do active learning of answers, the descriptive answers.
Right. So this was about the written part of the examination of
Yes,
the process, if I would say.
yes,
So now comes the interview.
yes,
So what was your experience? Because some people or candidates they say that they have faced a very jovial
yeah,
panel, while others says that they have faced a very strict panel who were not at all interested in whatever the candidate has to say.
yeah.
So, sir, what your experience says about it?
Um, Mine was neither very cordial nor very strict. I know that they're going to grill me on the fact that I have almost 7 years gap because of my UPSC. I didn't do anything after my graduation. I know that they're going to grill me on that. See,
Right.
whatever, whether they are cordial or whether they grill you,
Yeah.
they're just trying to check how you're gonna react.
Right.
Just because you have a strict panel, it doesn't mean they're going to award you low marks.
Right.
They're just looking into how you're going to react. In both the times, in both the interviews I gave, I got stricter panels. They grilled me. Uh, in fact, in my second attempt, almost the first 4 or 5 minutes went into my UPSC discussion itself. Why so much gap? Why didn't you write
Yeah.
other exams? I told them I'm very specific. I want to write only UPSC, and then after 5 years, I decided to give RBI also. Then they kind of scolded me that you wasted so much time. You should have written other exams. So, but this is all these things are not going to impact your marks. They're just trying to test you.
Right.
They have seen hundreds of people like me and others. So they're not going to care about why is there a gap or why didn't you write other exam. It is just for the sake of discussion
Right.
and how you react. So keep that in mind, internalize that fact.
Right.
So, and when I was asked those questions, I'm not at all impacted. I'm just fine. I'm ready for that. I
Right.
didn't get tensed or nothing. I'm just cool. I answered them. Then the technical questions followed. So it doesn't matter whether they are, of course, whether they are very cordial. It becomes even more easier for the candidate. Even if it is very grilling, don't worry about it.
Right.
It's not going to impact your marks. It didn't impact my marks. I got marks that are positively correlated with my performance. So it doesn't impact your marks. Neither the gap, of course, a lot of UPSC aspirants have this doubt. I have so much of a gap, whether RBI is going to give me very low marks. No,
Yeah.
the
As
gap
much
doesn't
as
disappear.
you have that explanation that
Yeah,
what if you can justify the gap,
yeah, yes,
you're good to go.
yes, of course. In fact, I told them that I'm sorry for not writing other exams because I don't want to drag the discussion by giving some lame answers. I want to cut short that discussion. I said, sir, when I look back, it is true that truly I do believe that I should have written other exams and I should not have wasted my time in UPSC for so many years.
Right.
Then the discussion has come to an end, and we went on to discuss the technical aspects,
Something
the
else.
RPA part. That is how you cut a discussion.
Yeah. So yeah, that is also trick because sometimes a candidate they keep on justifying,
Yeah,
and if they see that the panel it is not satisfied with the answer, they
yeah,
keep on changing the
justify.
answers. They keep
Yeah,
on
yeah,
convincing.
yeah.
So if you should have that awareness that way to
Uh,
cut short
Way to
the
cut short,
point.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So don't be completely honest with them. Just try to be diplomatic.
Right.
Of course, there are a
Yeah.
few things where you need to be completely honest,
Yes.
but at the same time, don't be.
You don't have to show your weak or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know what you're doing with
Because in
life.
that short span of 12 to 14 minutes, they'll
Right.
not be able to judge your personality comprehensively. So
Right.
why give them some negative impression?
Right.
They're
Right.
not going to spend 1 week with you and decide your marks. They're just
Yeah.
going to look into 12 or 13 minutes. So
Right.
be a little diplomatic. Of course, when it's needed, be completely honest.
Right. Because again that diplomacy it helps a lot because you need not to show everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
yes.
show them which is required.
Required.
Be honest where you feel like that your honesty would
Yes.
be benefited.
Benefited. Yeah. And one more thing I did was I have this habit of reading a lot of books, non-fiction books.
Right.
So I read a lot of books that are related to central banking.
Right.
So that was one attractive part of my profile. When the interviewers look into my profile, they don't find anything interesting because there is a large gap.
Yeah.
So this part, this reading non-fiction books part, was something that captured their eyes. I was able to justify them. They asked me what books you read. I told them a lot of books. They asked me to summarize few of them, and I did. So if somebody has very weak profile, if at all, and even if you don't have book reading habit like me, I actually have a very strong book reading habit. But just to be tactical, I would tell you read some 4 or 5 good books on central banking, just for the sake of interview. Tell them that I read these books. It will be more fetching. It will fetch marks. If you feel
Yeah.
that your profile is weak, take this risk. I tell you to take this risk.
Yeah. Because if there is a gap, there's nothing much to ask from the
Yeah, yeah.
biodata. So
Because
it's better
yeah,
it's a smart strategy because
yes,
you know that questions will be from biodata only.
yeah,
So if you cannot justify, not justify, but if you cannot cover up the gaps or anything else, just add one or two, three things and
yeah.
prepare for it.
Yes.
Like,
So reading books is
hmm,
something that people can do because not many people will have this habit.
yeah,
I would say less than 1% or 2% people have this habit. So when
right,
you mention that on your biodata, the interviewers are going to be really, find it attractive,
right,
and you should be ready for that. So this is
right.
the risk, and this is the payoff. And if you're
Yes,
ready for it, I think this read some 2 3 books. One past governor, for example, Dubur Subbarao book on biography, autography, his own autography. Read that book and read Tamal Bandopadhyay's Bandhan Bank, the story of Bandhan Bank. And there are a few favorite books of RBI panelists, interview panelists. For example, there is a book called The Alchemist by
yeah,
Neil Irwin, which is about central banking again. And there are books from Richard Taylor about nudge theory, about read the 2 or 3 books of this nature.
Right, right.
And they're not going to ask you, uh, did you read this book? Most
Yeah,
probably they'll
yeah.
ask you, what books
What
have you
books?
read?
Yes,
So
yes.
the question and answer both comes from your side.
Right.
So this is one strategy with a good risk reward ratio. People can
Yeah.
follow it.
Yeah, because usually there are two aspects. First of all, that people write they love reading, but when asked question about it, they're just blank.
Yes.
One thing is that. And secondly, what you said, as you have mentioned so many good books, that reading is one thing. But if you read something that is related to organization,
Yes.
that would definitely have an impact. So you need not to study every time, or you need not to have that habitual about those kind
Yes.
of that genre. But if you're going for examination, if you're reading 2 to 3 books, that could be a good risk with high reward.
Yeah, because the time span of interview is very short.
Right.
In UPSC, if you don't have a good book reading habit, you'll be caught.
Yeah.
So if it's not a genuine habit, for example.
Yeah.
So here the risk reward payoff is good. If you don't mind, I'll mention at least 5 books
Sure.
now, right now itself,
Yeah, yeah.
because it might help aspirants.
Right.
See, few books that are very specific to RBI. That is the story of RBI by Rahul Bajoria. It tracks from the beginning of RBI in 1935. It tracks what has happened historically.
All
So it
right.
is a very nice book. And there is a book, Dialogue of the Deaf. It tells about the relationship between the central government and the RBI historically. And it is written by TCA Srinivasa Raghavan. And of course, all the books by previous governors, the Reserve Bank governors, I would tell first read Duguri Subbarau's book, which is Who Moved My Interest Rate. It is written in very lucid language. It was targeted at normal people. So read that book first, and you can also read I Do What I Do by Raghuram Rajan sir. Read these 2 books for the central governors, governors of the central bank, and read The Alchemist by Neil Irwin, not Paulo Coelho, not that novel. This is a different book. This is The Alchemist by Neil Irwin, and read about the story of Bandhan Bank by Tamal Bandyopadhyay, and read books from Vivek Kaul. Vivek Kaul is one other author who writes books for masses, for normal people. So if you don't have good background in banking sector, it's very easy to understand. The language was lucid, the topics are interesting and very good. And there's one more book by Joseph Wang, Central Banking 101. The name of the book is Central Banking 101. So read these 5, 6 books. These are enough.
Right.
And read whatever hot. Some books will be hot in a particular period. Keep a track of them. Read that book. They might ask you, have you read this book, which has released recently?
Right.
This is enough.
So that book that is related to the organization that.
Yeah.
Or any. Yeah.
No. I'm telling you, when you're going for the interview next year, just keep a track of the books that are released in the just 2-3 months before the interview.
Of this genre, or any genre?
No. Better if it is this genre.
Yeah.
I mean the central bank in the banking side.
Right.
Of course, people have all kinds of habits.
Yeah.
They can read fictional books, anything. But mine was targeted towards that risk reward thing.
Right. And because if someone is portraying as if they are fond of reading, and they have read so many books, and if been asked that in past few months if they know any new book has been released, and if they don't know, that would somehow would expose.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I think some interview panels, even if the candidate has not written that he has reading books as his habit, has asked them, have you read any book?
Right.
And most of the candidates were hurt or dejected because the first question was that you enter inside, they ask you what book have you read. They said no. They feel down because they said no. So it's nice if you read 1 or 2 books for everybody.
Right. Yeah, at least to have a common.
Common.
At least, yeah.
That's a common expectation from the panel.
Right. So, sir, apart from that, so basically means interview, you want to say that questions, they were basically from the biodata only, and some of the technical questions because of your technical background.
No, technical in the sense.
Related to RBI.
The banking. They didn't ask me anything from my engineering background.
Right.
So for interview preparation, look into the RBI website. First, go through the transcripts. That is one thing everybody start preparing very passively again. Go first, read all the transcripts of this year and the last year. See which of those questions are probable that you might get based on your own biodata. Pick a few questions. First, prepare answers for those questions. Only then start reading his current affairs, daily current affairs, newspaper, these things. Because the interview is very random. The only things that you can expect is these things on your biodata. So be very sure about your biodata. Prepare it from every angle. Of course, the technical part, you don't know what comes. That is the random part of the interview. This is a predictable part of the interview.
Yes, but one should be aware of the organization he's applying for.
Yeah. That functions and working PDF that is released by the RBI Staff College. The annual reports that RBI releases, the vision documents on financial inclusion, financial education, the financial stability report. These things, economic survey, the budget, these are enough.
Right. So Mr. Vivek says that for phase 1 and phase 2, both for it, he says you should know the level of examination. Go for as much mock test as you can, because that would first of all tell you what kind of questions are asked in the examination, as well as it would also help us to understand our level, that where do we stand, because of the if we are able to clear the cutoffs in the mock test or not, or what rank do we secure in the mock test. And for phase 2, especially for the descriptive writing also, he says his strategy, what he followed was not to read the topics. Right, he went for mock test only, because in that way he had the hold of writing the structure properly. If you go and you just keep on reading the text, you won't know how to write the descriptive, because that is something different from making notes. So that is what he followed. And for interview, he says two things. First of all, if this is especially for those people who have a lot of gap between their graduation and then interview, you should write constructive habits in that. For example, and if you do not have, you can make yourself do that. For example, he suggested so many good books which you can read, and then you can tell them that you have read such and such books, and then whole your interview it would be shifted towards that. But yes, you should be thorough with it. It's not like that you just have written and now you cannot answer them. Right. So you should be thorough with it, so that you can, because you already have 14 to 15 minutes to explain what you are. And if that is something that is related to your drop years only, they would never be able to comprehend you as a person. So you should make your biodata in such a way that they ask you questions and which you already know, and you also know how to answer them. So some, have I missed anything?
No, ma'am. Everything is covered.
Yeah. So sir, one last thing that you want to say to the aspirants who are preparing for RBI.
Ma'am, one thing is that don't keep searching for the best book. Don't keep searching for the best strategy, best coaching institute. Pick any book. Pick the good book. There are 2, 3 options in the market. Don't worry about which is the best one. Keep revising them. Start preparing. That is the first thing. Don't run after too many resources. In fact, to be honest, I don't have too much knowledge about the banking sector that I deserve. I don't think, completely based on the knowledge, I don't deserve the rank 9 from based on banking sector. It's because I had that knack of cracking the exam. I was able to get into this rank. So I tell people to keep revising a lot, have that mindset of cracking the exam, then studying a lot of resources, a lot of sources, a lot of books, do a lot of mock tests. And if you're kind of feel that you're not very disciplined or motivated to study, have a group study. In fact, I did during my first attempt, I was able to finish everything for the phase 1 in just under 20 days. It's all because I had a friend. We had daily targets or weekly targets, and we used to discuss them over phone. So this is one way. Having somebody, a partner in group study, is one way where you can remain focused and have narrow sources. Right. Otherwise, you keep reading everything that comes into the market, that everything that is posted on the Telegram group. Right. So have that restrain yourself, and the best way to restrain yourself is having a study partner. So
Great.
have that, practice a lot of mock tests, and treat it as an exam. Don't do too much of PhD. Uh, and I think when these things are met, I think anybody can clear this examination. And apart from that, uh, that is all I have.
Right.
uh, so execution, of course, you might have all the good strategy, good books, and everything.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
execution is the best part, and the best way to execute is, of course, having a study partner and practicing a lot of mock tests.
Right. Right.
This is all I
Usually,
have for the aspirants. No?
yeah, because usually what aspirants they do, they focus more on sources,
Yes,
that
yes,
how to get this material, and whatever they consider, they refer to 2 to 3 sources, that if something is missed in one, they'll get in another, then another, then another.
that is a natural tendency. In
Yeah.
fact, I learned this in a hard way during my UPSC preparation. I used to run out a lot of books,
Right.
and it didn't help me because revision is the best. Only if you revise, you will crack any exam. Just
Right.
the knowledge, just because you have a lot of knowledge, that's
Right.
not enough. You need to revise it,
Yes.
and that the content should be on your fingertips,
Right.
ready for the exam. Only then you will be able to do well in that limited time constraint in the real exam scenario.
Right. Just have limited sources, revise them and again,
Yeah.
and do keep in mind what is the pattern of the examination.
Yes, yes, yes. Treat it as an exam. It is
Yeah.
an exam. Treat it as an exam.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the strategy of Mr. Abhishek. And I'm sure, sir, that many aspirants, they will find it benefit. They'll be find it benefit for their preparation. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your strategies and your views on how to crack RBI examination. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.